Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Brielle is sleeping obviously in her room, and obviously I cannot film in there. So for today's video, I'm going to be in my room. Excuse the background I have going on. I have my belly cast right there. It's just, I don't know, it's just my room. So today I have a requested video. Actually, I've gotten a couple requests on this, and it's baby names, like baby names ideas, or I've gotten like, oh, can you like do baby names that you loved or you won't be using, or can you do like what you were gonna name Gracelyn, and all this other type of like requests like that. So I thought I'd do the pretty popular video here on YouTube that is called 10 baby names I love but won't be using. Since I'm not pregnant, I figure I can still do this because I've seen people still do it since, like, if they've already had their children. Since I will most likely have more children along the road 10 years from now, I thought I could still do this video. I actually found this little book right here. I just looked in one of my old purses, and it's this notebook from when I was pregnant with Gracelyn, and I have all of the names that I was deciding on when I was pregnant with Gracelyn. And Gracelyn is not on here, actually. I found Gracelyn's name like in the spur of a Google search for names, but it's funny because I didn't pick Gracelyn's name out of like this list that I had been deciding for like weeks. I was trying to pick a name from this list. I have a ton of names. I'm gonna tell you guys my top 5 girl names and then my top 5 boy names. Now these are names that I loved, but obviously I did not use for my daughter, and I probably most likely won't use for my future kids, but we'll see. So the number 1 girl name that I actually, before I knew the sex of Gracelyn, I had this picked out. I had one for a girl and one for a boy that I really liked, and I was like, okay, if it's a girl, I'm gonna name her this, and if it's a boy, I'm gonna name her this, or him this. And so for that girl one, it was actually Brielle, and I really, really love that name. I still do, but I'm glad I didn't name Gracelyn that because obviously Gracelyn's Gracelyn, you know, it fits her really well. But I really did love Brielle for about, I want to say like, I don't know, 12 weeks to all the way up to like 20 weeks when I picked Gracelyn's name. I loved the name Brielle, and I wanted it to be Brielle Bell. Brielle Bell, like Bell for the middle name. Just really loved the name Brielle. It's really cute. I feel like it's kind of like a Brielle would be a really sweet, classy girl type of thing, and I really loved that, but I wasn't going to be using it for Gracelyn because I found Gracelyn's name and fell in love with Gracelyn's name. The second name for a girl that I really loved, and this was probably next to Brielle, is Addison or Adeline. I'm gonna say like both those because they're really, really close. So I really loved Addison and I really loved Adeline. I loved Adeline because of that movie that came out. I think it came out actually around the time I was pregnant with her. It was called The Age of Adeline, or Adeline was it? I'm not sure, but I really liked Adeline, or Adeline actually. It's just Adeline's kind of more like old-fashioned, I feel like. And then I loved Addison. The thing about the name Addison is it's a really, I feel like it's a really popular name, and I actually know a few people named Addison. I liked the name Addison from Grey's Anatomy, Addison Shepherd. That's kind of where I got it from, but I just felt like too many people were named Addison, and I didn't really want my daughter to have a super popular name that everyone in her class is gonna have. The third name that I loved, and this is I feel like this is a pretty unique name, and I feel like not many people are named this, but it's actually Violet. I was debating on this for quite some time if I, you know, wanted to go with Violet for if it was a girl, but I just didn't feel like Violet was really fitting for my child. I love the name Violet. I love it so much. I got Violet from American Horror Story, actually, the season 1, the murder house. The girl's name is Violet, but I don't know. I love the name Violet. It's a really pretty name. I love the color violet, and that was another one of my options, but I didn't end up going with that. The fourth name that I really loved, and I still do love this name, I still do love all these names, was Hadley. I feel like it's a really unique name, Hadley. I don't really have much to say about the name Hadley besides I just liked it. I don't know, it was on my list and I just thought it was cute. And then the last one that I thought was super cute, and it's kind of similar to Brinley, kind of, I mean, not really, but it was Brielle, and I loved Brielle. It was kind of like that, it had the Brie in it, like the Brie, the beginning of like Brie, like how I liked Brinley, and then the ending is L. So it was kind of like a mixture of two different names, does that make sense? And I really liked that. I loved the Brielle, just loved the sound of it. Pretty close to Brinley, but I loved those B names at the time. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and read the rest of the names I had in here. They weren't really favorites, they were just ideas, but just in case anyone's interested. So I had Audrey, Aubrey, Hayden, Brooklyn, Chloe, Isabella, Scarlett, Arabelle or Arabella, Paisley, Braylee, and Kensley. Those were all some names that I just had written down that I heard and I liked, but they weren't my favorites for girls. For boys, my top 5 boy names, I had a lot more boy names than I did girls in the beginning of trying to search for a name for my child. For some reason, I just loved boy names a lot more. There were a lot more cuter boy names. I really struggled with finding girls' names that I loved in the beginning of the search for my daughter's name. The number 1 boy name that I loved, and I told myself, you know, if this is a boy, I'm totally naming him this, but it's actually super close to Graceland's name, and I'm sure anyone can guess it right now, but it is Grayson. And I love that name, Grayson. It's so cute, just for the reasons that I love Graceland's. Graceland's just a super cute boy name. I loved it so much. I don't know, I feel like Grayson would be like a really good name for like a sweet little boy, and that was like my number 1 choice for if it was gonna be a boy. My second favorite boy name was actually what my mom was gonna name my brother, or one of the options she was gonna name my brother. My brother's name is Spencer, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, but she was thinking about naming him Jackson, and I really, really love the name Jackson. I swear to God, I was like, if I have a boy, I really want to name it Jackson Avery. Like, I love the middle name Avery and Jackson in front of it. And if anyone watches Grey's Anatomy, you know that Jackson Avery is from Grey's Anatomy. But it sounds like such a good name, like Jackson and then the middle name Avery, Jackson Avery. Super cute, super like simple, not too complicated of a name. Jackson's just a cute little boy name. The third baby boy name that I loved so much, and I still love this to this day, I actually got it from the movie The Best of Me. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but the guy's name in that movie was Dawson. And I love Dawson. It's just such a cute name, and I don't know if it's because that character in that movie was just like such a sweetheart and he was cute, and it just like made you want to name your child Dawson. I don't know, but I love the name Dawson. It's just a really cute name, and that was also on my list of names that I was thinking about naming my boy if I had a boy. The next one for my baby boy names was actually Landon, and the reason that I loved Landon at the time was because like years ago, my neighbor, she actually fell pregnant as a teenager, and she ended up naming the baby Landon. And like ever since that day, I swear I told myself, like, if I have a boy, I'm naming it Landon. I love the name Landon. It's such a cute name. That was another one of my options, Landon. And notice how all the boy names I had on here were ending in like N, like Landon, or well, ending in N, like Landon, Grayson, you know. I don't know, it's just, those are like the cutest boy names, and I feel like those are the most popular nowadays, the ones that end in or like the girl names that end in Lynn. The last one of my boy baby names that I loved was actually, I'm pretty sure my mom was actually debating between this name too and naming my brother, but it is Bryson. And I love the name. I don't like the name Bryce, but I love the name Bryson, again, because it ends in the sin, well, not sin, that kind of sounds weird, but it ends in and I don't know, I just love it about that. And the reason I didn't want to go with Bryson is because one of my ex's name is Bryce, and I don't know, it's just too close to, I don't know, it's just weird. You don't want to name your kid like close to your ex or anything like that. Those were like my top 5 baby boy names that I loved, but I didn't use. And then I'm gonna just read off the list of the other options I had on here as well. And like I said, I didn't really like love these, and I wasn't debating between them, but these are just ones that I had written down like through my pregnancy in the beginning when I was just getting like ideas of names that I would like. So I have Jaden, Braden, Easton, Bentley, Ashton, Branson, Jameson. I have it like written down there spelled 2 different ways. Kaysen, Mason, Brantley, and Braxton. So, and the reason I didn't go with Braxton is because Braxton Hicks. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Like, it's just too close to Braxton Hicks. And that's what I would think about every time I said my child's name is Braxton Hicks. It's a cute name, don't get me wrong. Like, if your child's name's Braxton, like, I love it. I just couldn't have my child be named Braxton. That is pretty much it for the 10 baby names I love, but I won't be using. Like I said, I most likely won't be using any of these for my future kids, just because when I do have kids again, it will probably be like 10 years down the road, and my style in names will probably have changed by then, and different things will be a little more trendy then that I'll probably fall into liking. I had a bunch of ideas written down, and I ended up with Graceland's name a totally different way. Her name wasn't even on this list, as you know. I found her name like in the spur of a moment. When everything was happening, when she was sick, I felt like she wasn't gonna make it, and I felt like I needed a name for her before, you know, if she were to pass. I felt like I needed a name, and I found her name on the internet when I was searching when I was in Cincinnati at the fetal center. I found her name there, and that day I decided that her name was Graceland Rose. And then I want to say like a couple weeks after I decided that name, I also decided that I wanted to take my mom's middle name and add it in there to Graceland Elaine Rose. So my daughter's name is Graceland Elaine Rose. She has 2 middle names. I love it. Elaine is my mom's middle name and Rose is my middle name. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like. Leave any video requests or ideas down in the comments below. I try to always get to them. I have a list of videos that I want to do that are requested. Just go ahead and do that because it really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.